Monk Yunrou here. Welcome to the Forbidden Rice podcast. I'd like to talk for a moment about the difference between facts and knowledge. I read recently that by the time most people graduate from school, particularly from college, at least half of what they learned is already obsolete. Maybe this is more true in the science and technological fields, but maybe it's true in terms of literary criticism and history too. We're always learning more about the past, revising our theories and our ways of looking at events that unfolded years ago. And we're always coming up with new ways of understanding what great writers meant in works of classic literature. But what's 100% sure is that as our science rolls on and our understanding of the universe deepens, tenets that we held close years ago are necessarily jettisoned. So if we go to the trouble of going to school, paying for it, working hard, making good grades, and learning and memorizing all kinds of facts, what are we to make of this revelation? Well, one obvious conclusion to draw is not to get too attached to facts. Another is to re-emphasize the way we learn and how to learn and the joy of learning, as opposed to rote memorization of things that will be incorrect and obsolete by the time you're out of school. But there's also a deeper message here, which has to do with the difference between facts. This is so tall, this is so old, that is so big, this is the way this works, and so on. And a deeper knowledge that cannot be expressed in language. In fact, the first chapter of the Tao Te Ching makes this point exactly. The Tao Te Ching, that great Taoist text, maybe the greatest one. It says that if you can speak a thing, if you can speak the Tao, you can speak of the Tao, if you give it a name, give it a word, it's not it. The implication in that opening stanza of this great work of philosophy is that when you start to categorize and characterize and divide and judge and classify, you have lost direct experience. So naming a thing, Bruce Lee talks about you don't look at the finger pointing at the moon or you miss all that heavenly glory. The word moon is not the same as the moon. The finger pointing at the moon is not really conveying anything except to aim your attention, but it's not the moon. So too, real knowledge, real knowing, is a quieter, deeper, personal and direct experience that transcends language, and it sure as heck transcends facts and school. How do you get to that knowledge? Meditation, quietude, solitary exercise, where you've limited the input and you have time to allow the reflexive part of your brain, the rational, judging, classifying, logical part of your brain to take a rest. And in that moment, intuition kicks in. And in many ways, Taoist texts are all about the importance of intuition and about balancing logic and intuition. So some people say that in the East, intuition is overemphasized, and in the West, rational thinking and logic is overemphasized, and the idea is to bring them back into balance. Either way, real knowing is not what's in books, which is another thing that Laozi tells us when he says, the sage forgets deliberately all the things that he or she has learned. And people often think he or she is an idiot because we've emptied our mind as sages. We want to empty our mind. We want to have direct experience. And through that direct experience, without words, without facts, we want to just know. It's so beautiful. Thanks for joining me for this latest installment of the Forbidden Rice podcast. I hope you enjoyed it. For more, to go deeper into my world, my books, my speaking, my teaching, and to sign up for my newsletter, visit monkyunrou.com.